All right, Vivienne.
I met an elven mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called. I admit I was surprised. I didn't expect to find mages among the Inquisition. Tell me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
Wow, she starts like... Okay. What do I want to do here? Number 4 sounds like the best. Because justice sounds like revenge.
The war benefits no one. It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
Did her boobs grow? What the hell?
I'll try not to let them down.
Failure is a luxury we cannot afford, my dear. For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
I'm stuck between 1 and 4, but I'm gonna say 4.
If that's true, then I'll put it to good use.
I suppose we'll see. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you. Yes?
Look at that gear. Just look at... Yeah, let's learn about
I'd
you.
like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
Your accent's not Orlesian. Where exactly are you from?
I am from the Circle, my dear. One's country of origin rarely matters there. But if you must know, I was born in Wycombe in the Free Marches. I was sent to the Ostwick Circle, but I transferred to Monsignat while still an apprentice.
Okay.
I'm curious how a circle mage winds up a courtier.
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. It takes a great deal of effort to arrive there. I caught the eye of Duke Bastien de Ghislaine, an advantageous connection that opened many doors. When the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it.
Oh. So she's like his wife.
You're married to the Duke de Ghislaine.
Of course not, my dear. Don't be ridiculous. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
What? What? And it's really an option that I can ask what his wife thinks?
And what does the Duchess de Ghislaine think of this arrangement?
We got along quite well. Duchess Nicoline and I used to host musical salons together. She was a great patron of the arts. She passed away from a fever a few years ago, the poor dear.
They get mine fucked right now. Wow.
What duties does a court enchanter have?
I am tasked with providing assistance to the Empress on arcane matters. Most of my predecessors restricted this to lighting lamps and doing parlor tricks. In such troubled times as these, however, I provide political advice to Her Majesty on the subject of the Mage Rebellion.
So she's a mistress.
Yes?
I don't even.
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
What was it like to live in a circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
She seems to be honest.
How did we come to this state with the circles in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
That was accurately described.
Are you familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job. In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago to let her spend time gardening.
Wow. Considering her latest decision.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms against the rebels.
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means protest abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder. By voting when they did, my colleagues all but declared war upon the ordinary people of Thedas. A war in which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
Wow.
Yes?
Yeah, I've done all of that. And I don't want to help the circle per se. Well, that was interesting. She seems very level-headed, objective. You know what I mean? She's able to not let faith or emotions guide her. And she can see things for as they really are. And I think that's a valuable asset to have with the
You were saying something about
Inquisition.
Cullen?
Yes. Haven has limited space for our soldiers to train. Perhaps we could set up something over here.
Now, he was zoned out. I wonder why. The Inquisition emissaries were a welcome addition to our vigil. As a token of my stance, I'm sending Ferelden arms for your troops. Thank you. Okay, Cullen, am I to understand you are in charge of the soldiers, trampling my lawns, providing food and refuge to the scramble of filth burrowing in my land? Wow. Did my wretched neighbor, Ban Traft, whisper in your ear, tell me what he paid you so that I may at least know the price of treachery? My only consolation is that a few of the rank and file have gone to join your farce of an Inquisition. Well, that didn't turn out well. That answered that, didn't it? Okay, so I still got a reward, but the person was pissed off. Huh. Well, that was an unexpected turn of events. Now, I wonder what had to be done to get the best outcome. You cannot have heard the shocking allegations against. People are saying I'm horrible at moving my mouse right now. I'm sorry. My eyes are in one spot and my mouth is in another. I apologize. That was Seeking Pendergast and Sister Nightingale, who sabotaged the Conclave in order to eliminate opposition within the Chantry and cut off the heads of the Mage Rebellion and Templars in a single stroke. To save your own reputation, you must escape this acquaintance immediately. Seeker Pentig... What? People are saying that the Vivienne is indeed alive, but that the Inquisition, her closest advisors, and most trusted servants, Sister Nightingale, are they insane?
At your service.
That's nuts. Oh, okay. I don't even know how to take that. He can make no sense of this. For your big hats, Lord, whoever says you're rubbish, his servants don't care but could. Drop a few things for them. They'll give Josephine a surprise. I think scrolls or something, Sarah. I was about to say, of course it's Sarah. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. One rogue to another. No two Sarahs in a row. Oh, another one. Oh, okay, this is the douchey one that I ignored with the blah blah. And I'm still finding this rather boring. Any of the three candidates could be a valuable ally in the Inquisition, but the other two must be removed from play first. Shit. That would have been a Liliana thing.
To work?
But we're gonna send Cullen. Because I want to know what would happen. There.
Let's see what we have.
Okay. Big bad table is not so big bad. Now let's see what else, what other progress I can make.